everyone, welcome back to Eastwick Cottage Garden. Hope you guys are doing well. We are out in the garden space today doing some odd jobs. I want to get some things planted in the ground. I want to get some weeding done and to see what other things we could get done today. So trying to develop a plan of attack. I think I want to work in the back beds here first. So I'm gonna just set up the camera and then we're just gonna go for the activities of the day. So while I was doing some raking, I noticed that the osmanthus party lights is starting to get the party started with the pink foliage. Very exciting. So we're in the back corner of the woodland garden, and I'm going to plant this carex. Where to put it? It's right there. So it gets about 3 feet tall and 3 feet wide, and it's a bright yellow color. So I think it would bring some brightness to the back corner of this. So I think it would be very nice back here. I love the alder because this is pretty much all roots back here, and that wasn't so bad. So this is the carrot label. It is soaking wet, and the ground back here is pretty moist as well, so I'm not going to water it. And we have some roots coming through the bottom, so I think that they'll be okay and get going once they get in the soil. So here we go. This corner is so relaxing and so beautiful. I can't get over it. So I planted the carex back in the back corner here, but with the daffodils, and I know everybody doesn't like ivy, and I do try to keep it in check. You saw me attacking it in the garden area. Well, I don't know if you saw that, but I did go after it in the fenced-in garden area. But with the heuchera putting up its flower spikes, and the ferns, we have the primrose going, and it's just so peaceful back here. It's so lovely, and you can see the dusting of pink from the petals of the Kwanzaa cherry tree. And there's a little bit of brightness of the blue of the Brunnera. It's just so lovely back here. So nice. Under the shade of this glorious, glorious tree. So beautiful. Okay, so here we are going to be planting, this is an Agastaki or Agastache, however you pronounce it, Paquito orange. I had one here before and it died, so this is a replacement for that. The foliage on this smells amazing. It smells very citrusy. Lovely. I have to go get the fertilizer. So we are going to plant this heuchera here, We're outside the fenced garden. So I'm going to put it right here, and then it'll add a nice red element. Okay, so the last things we're going to do today are going to be planting up these flower beds in the back deck area here. Cat's pajamas, blooming out already, looking lovely. This bed is full of compost, and we did the no dig method of this, but I don't know, it's usually auger because I didn't know if I was going to have to dig down deeper than the amount of compost that's actually in here. It's pretty deep, so I think we might be all right. So this is catmint. It's in the mint family, and they do not really like fertilizer. Whoa, that's too deep. So we're not going to put any fertilizer in when we plant the catmints. Probably should have turned it the other way, but that's okay. So this is our chick charm sempervivum that we got from Mastardi in our last venture out to the nursery. So I'm going to plant this, and this also, because it's succulent, is not going to get any fertilizer. I want to plant it kind of close to the rocks so that it could spill over. All right, I think this is going to be so adorable in this space, especially when it starts putting off its little chicklets. This is the dianthus, and it's called Constant Beauty Pink. I think that's what it is. Yep, Constant Beauty Pink. And it's already starting to bloom out. So this should get pretty wide and fill in this space a bit. I am going to fertilize this one. Okay, that bed is done for now. On to the next bed. I forgot there's 3 more things I want to plant, and then we'll be done. last go round. All right. Okay, so this has been a pretty long day. We got out here around, my throat's very dry too. We got out here around 12:30 and it is now 5:30. So, been out here for a long time. But we got a lot done, so I'm very happy with that. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and we're gonna show you, run through what we got done today. Okay, so the last things we got done today were planting the agapanthus. It's going to provide more in the blue to the back of this border if you're looking at it from the street side. So I was happy to get these in the ground. I just wanted to show you, look at how many bloom spikes are on these salvia. It's incredible. And the dianthus as well. It's very exciting. We also have a lot of blooms starting on the yarrow. So this yarrow is Coronation Gold, and so it's a really beautiful yellow color, very striking. We did get one bloom last year, but I'm hoping for a whole lot more because we actually have 4 of these plants here. So I'm going to move on to the next area. I'm going to do a sweep by of this. So in the orchard area and along the back fence, we did some cleaning up. I had done some trimming yesterday evening, and I just cleaned that stuff up and cleaned up a lot of the leaves that were there. I did leave some because you don't want to necessarily clean them all up because the critters still like to hide in them. So this is what we did in this area kind of at the beginning of the day. So in the woodland garden area, we planted the carex in the back here and actually did a little bit of weeding of some of the broadweeds that were in the woodland garden area bed, just kind of get them out of the way. So that's what we got done in this area. So we also did some work here in the compost bin area. I started to turn this compost and discovered like a bajillion worms in there. So very excited about that. And then I started to turn this pile and there were another bajillion worms. So I'm gonna kind of leave that for a little bit. And I took off the stuff that we cleaned up today. This is all the stuff, most of the stuff that we cleaned up today and a little bit that was on the top of the pile to start a third pile here. So we're going to have a bunch of compost and I'm very excited about that. So we also cleaned up this area a bit with some weeding using the trimmer just to get some of the weeds down. We did some cleaning up in this area, this flower bed here to the gate side of the fenced-in garden. So cleaned up some of the leaves so the plants could breathe a bit and make it look a little more tidy. Did a bunch of trimming in this area. I have to rake it up. I didn't have the energy to do all that because I wanted to get some of the plants in the ground. Oof, that was a carpenter bee just skimmed my head. But we got a lot of the bishop's goutweed trimmed down. So this is something I just have to stay on top of all year. Like I said, once you get it, it's almost impossible to get it down. I didn't want to get too close to this rose bush here. This is my grandmother's rose, and I didn't want to damage it, so I will get in there and trim that out by hand, the goutweed that's there. But yeah, so this is vinca, which I know a lot of people don't like vinca, but I'm using it to combat the goutweed. And I trimmed back some of this as well today. I know pots are still here. They're working on it. We have new pots, so we're moving forward. So we did some trimming on that and then trimming down this side as well in this area. I'm just gonna do, while I was standing over here doing the trimming, I got a waft of the violas. They smell so good and they're so pretty. So I didn't do this on camera, but I hacked at the ivy as well. So this is another thing that I work on throughout the year. Usually about 2 or 3 times a year I come in here and hack it back a bit. So I hacked it down around the hydrangea bush and around the pathway, so I have to rake this up so that it doesn't overgrow too much and become a major nuisance. So that's what we did over here. So you can see, just kind of hack this back away from the fence a bit, and there's trash. Have to get that. Gross. Okay. That's gross. Okay. And then just cleaned up. I hacked down. I still have to do some more, but some of the garlic chives that have gotten out of hand because I was lazy and I did not trim back the seed heads 1 year. 1 year. 1 year. Look, if garlic chives are amazing, they grow ridiculously a lot, so you might want to put them in a pot. And you definitely, if you don't put them in a pot, definitely cut back the seed heads. But they are delicious, especially dried. Absolutely delicious. So, coming around this side, we did some more trimming up over here. And I just walked right past this. I don't know if did I say this? I don't think my ADD is gone. So we planted this Agastache Paquito orange. And this is to replace the one that died, because I have a matching one over here. So I planted these here because I didn't have any orange or yellow or in that family towards the front of the bed later in the season. So we have a lot of yellow in the back. We have the black-eyed Susans. So there's a bunch of black-eyed Susans back here. So there's like 4 big patches of black-eyed Susan. We also have the Heliopsis or fall sunflower. So there's 3 of those. So they bring a lot of yellow late in the season, like later in spring and into summer. So I wanted to bring some of that color towards the front of the bed. That is its purpose. I just threw out that trash. I just wanted to come over here and show you how pretty this Delosperma or ice plant looks, with the red of the dianthus and the blue of the salvia. Such a lovely combination. So we planted up the mirroring flower beds. We planted up the plants that were here. We put in the dianthus and the cat's pajamas, nepeta, and we planted the chick charm as well, or sempervivum. Yeah, so this bed for the moment is all planted up. I do have another plant that's coming to go on the sides, like I said before, but that should be coming, I guess, sometime soon. But the mirroring bed with the same 3 plants that we planted. So the other thing that we did here was to plant this fire alarm heuchera so that it balances out the bed with color. So I have the paprika on this side and coming around to the fire alarm on this side. So it should be very nice, and also give color all year round, because it's the heucheras are evergreen in this area. The other thing that I did, the guy's supposed to be coming to do my lawn, but I spent a whole lot of time getting rid of some of the broadweeds that are in the lawn. I use the term loosely, like I said, lawn. But I pulled a lot of those up with my group paw, especially getting around the tree, because I don't want them to accidentally trim down the daffodils, because they need to keep their greenery in order to feed the bulbs for next year's flowers. Okay, so that's what we got done in the garden today, and it was a really nice day. The wind is picking up a bit. It feels really good, but today it was a really lovely day to be outside. It was a perfect temperature. got a lot done and very happy with the day. I probably look a mess, but anyway, it was a very good day, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for the likes and the shares and the subscriptions. I'm so glad to have this community, and I will see you in the next video, and you guys take care and be safe. Bye-bye.